But the stories that they told in the documentary, bruh, come on. They could have went a whole lot deeper. They could have did a whole lot more.
Interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
We've reached a moment where the war between Diddy's sons and...
Bro, the stories they told in that documentary? Come on. A lot of people feel like Netflix could have gone way deeper and way dirtier with the details, but they played it safer than expected. And peep this, we still haven't even seen the full indictments laid out clearly for the public yet. There's been a weird time lag, and that usually means prosecutors are still chewing through forensics, digital trails, and...
With the series, with the film.
I mean, I think the intention is to give a more full-bodied experience to what happened, from the people that agreed to sit down and to participate. And I feel like the film asks a lot of questions, maybe more questions are asked than answers given.
Evidence that takes time to lock down properly. Now here's where it flips from gossip to straight pressure. The war between Diddy's sons and 50 Cent isn't just about reputation anymore. It's about survival, leverage, and who gets to control the narrative next. And right now, the battlefield is shifting so fast that even industry insiders can't keep up. Just weeks after 50 Cent's Netflix expose Sean Combs, the reckoning dropped. The whole industry caught a chill. Never before seen footage, explosive allegations, and a vibe that screamed, somebody's about to get burned. And now
it's probably leaning towards guilt. Now on the racketeering, I agree with you that the predicate acts may be found, but that's not all they need. There's an ultimate question. The first question on the jury verdict form is, do you find him guilty or not guilty of racketeering? Before you even get to the predicate acts, which you only get to if you find guilt, they could just be hung up on that question and say, this guy's not Tony Soprano. I am not convinced that I even want to find guilt.
Justin and Christian Combs are firing back with a move that could either restore their father's legacy or drag the whole family deeper into the storm with no exit door. Insiders say the brothers aren't just defending Diddy. They're allegedly building what people are calling a nuclear stash on 50 Cent, compromising material meant to crack his image wide open. We're talking unreleased interviews, old business links, financial records, early career connections, and messy claims that could flip public perception on its head if it ever hits the screen. But here's the twist that makes this whole thing feel like a ticking device. While they're plotting...
If I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that.
Plotting a counterattack, the legal walls are tightening around them too. Lawsuits, subpoenas, and whispers of deeper investigations are circling the Combs orbit, turning this from a family loyalty story into a high-stakes gamble, where one wrong move could land them in court right alongside their father. A producer involved in documentary work basically said the quiet part out loud. These projects often ask more questions than they answer, and that's not always a flaw. Sometimes that's the whole strategy. You apply pressure, hint at receipts, and force people to react without stepping on legal landmines that could get you shut down. And the timing couldn't be more volatile. Diddy is currently in...
And so the judge, again, seemed to be taking that matter pretty seriously and just pretty much said that, everyone, the judge, the attorneys, the witnesses' attorneys, the accusers' attorneys, they all have to adhere to these professional rules. They all have to adhere to this professional conduct. And if this continues and if more things are said that get onto the...
Incarcerated at Fort Dix. And while we can't verify every rumor floating online, one thing is obvious. He's watching the world move without him while his sons take center stage in a conflict that's no longer just about his case. It's about the entire Combs brand, what survives it, and who cashes out when the dust settles. Their upcoming docuseries, reportedly set for Zeus Network in 2026, isn't some casual response. It's being framed as a
same kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France. Diddy said, you don't do a freak off, I'm going to release one of the freak-off videos that you are profiled in and humiliate.
Calculated strike. Sources close to the production claim they've been quietly collecting recordings, footage, and testimonies that don't just challenge the reckoning, but aim to dismantle 50 Cent's carefully built persona piece by piece. And yeah, 50 clowns them publicly, the little jokes about living off Wi-Fi and legacy and all that. But people close to his camp say behind the scenes he's not laughing at all, because this isn't just internet beef. This is a media weapon that could spill into legal territory fast. The real question isn't just whether the Combs brothers can land a hit, it's whether they can survive the backlash when the industry decides they've crossed the line. Because here's what's already floating in the air. If their project touches the wrong person,
and Freed were in the unit that was one floor above mine. You know, so in terms of like the setting, it's a fairly decent chance that the room I'm describing is similar to where Diddy is. Yeah.
names the wrong link or includes footage that isn't cleared properly, it could turn into a legal domino effect they can't stop. Legal analysts have also been pointing out how complicated these big cases can get. You can argue details, you can debate patterns, you can list alleged predicate acts, but juries can still get stuck on the big question. Does this truly fit the legal definition they're being asked to judge? That's why both sides are moving like they're playing chess with a timer, and the board is on fire. Now let's talk about the part people keep skipping. Justin and Christian aren't just the sons. They've been pulled into serious allegations of their own, which makes this whole documentary move feel even riskier. Christian Combs was named in a lawsuit in 2024 connected to alleged misconduct on a yacht chartered by Diddy. The claim described behavior that, according to the plaintiff, mirrored some of the accusations.
To get out in front of this and, tried to persuade Netflix not to come forward with it. I think it's an interesting argument because what they're claiming is, Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, has had a long-standing, animosity against Diddy and sort of vice versa. And because he's at the helm, they're arguing this can't be taken seriously. This should sort of be seen as propaganda. And one of the things that Netflix hit back with was, yes, he's the executive producer. He doesn't necessarily have creative control. And that's something we
made about Diddy, which is exactly why it hit so hard in the headlines. Christian has denied wrongdoing, but the situation added pressure at the worst possible moment. Then Justin Combs faced a separate lawsuit with allegations that he lured a woman to Los Angeles under false pretenses, followed by claims of coercion at a Beverly Hills property.
The lawsuit specifically challenges allegations suggesting that Mr. Combs and his involvement in the 2018 of his former partner Kim Porter, whose passing was officially attributed to natural causes by the Los Angeles County.
The accuser's side described a frightening environment and a pattern they say resembles the same kind of control stories the public associates with the broader Combs scandal. Justin has also denied wrongdoing. Either way, the timing is brutal. Dropping a documentary while your legal exposure is rising isn't just PR. It's a Hail Mary with a spotlight attached. Meanwhile, 50's camp isn't sitting still. For years, 50 positioned himself like the guy willing to say what others won't. The I'll speak with.
So maybe the judge is going to give him more than time served.
But we should say that the maximum he could get is 20 years.
And that's what I want to get into for a minute. Because this is some racist you-know-what, this man-ass.
When everyone else goes silent type. He's criticized the culture for staying quiet, implying that silence lets toxic behavior survive. But now, the same spotlight he aimed at Diddy is swinging back toward him. Insiders claim the Combs brothers have been approaching people tied to 50's early days. Pre-fame relationships, old business disputes, former associates, and rivalries that never fully died. There's talk of sealed paperwork, dusty conflicts, and sensitive connections that could restart debates about 50's rise, his alliances, and how he really moved when he was building power. And 50's response? It's a mix.
Did Phil explain why he's speaking out now?
He said he's speaking out because he believes Diddy's a predator. He wants accountability, and he doesn't want someone like this to run unchecked in the future.
Bravado, private urgency. Reports say his legal team has been reaching out to people behind the scenes, warning them not to cooperate, not to sign anything, and not to play both sides. And his social posts, the mocking clips, the petty jabs, aren't only jokes, they're pressure tests. He's checking how far Justin and Christian are willing to push before they hit a wall. But the biggest wild card is still Diddy himself. Even from prison, rumors say he's been in contact with his sons and has opinions on how this documentary should be shaped. His appeal strategy has been aggressive, pointing at judicial issues, fairness questions, and procedural arguments. Whether those—
This is the flight where Diddy said to her,
Showed her
he
the video.
testified
Showed her the
that
freak-off video.
he showed her a video of a freak-off that she participated in and said, if you don't participate in another freak-off when we get to New York, I'm gonna put this video out. I'm gonna send it to your mother.
And that's coercion,
She
if
testified
it's true.
to that.
If the jury
they
believes
believe her,
yeah.
that's coercion.
That's
they would have cap.
claims land or not, the message is obvious. Diddy isn't moving like a man who thinks the story is over. Now here's the creepy part. There are claims that some footage the Combs brothers might be holding wasn't shot by random outsiders. It may have been filmed by Diddy himself as part of his own control the narrative plan. The irony is nasty. The same type of self-documenting meant to protect him could now be used as a weapon against 50. And if you've watched Diddy's history in the industry, you already know. His fights aren't just legal. They're about leverage, access, loyalty, and who gets to hold receipts when everything collapses. This docu-series doesn't look like an end. It looks like an opening shot. The Combs brothers aren't only trying to rewrite their father's story. They're positioning themselves as power brokers in a post-Diddy landscape. Justin has media experience, Christian has the music lane, and together they're trying to turn chaos into a platform.
So he put his hands on females, put his hands on producers, executives. That's just his. I guess that's what the whole name Bad Boy comes from. That people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name? Like he never really gave a clear definition of how he feels about that.
But the risk is insane, because if the documentary is seen as intimidation, if it's viewed as retaliation, or if any material looks improperly obtained, it could trigger more heat. And 50 isn't just a target. He's a seasoned operator with money, lawyers, and influence. One side's truth becomes the other side's defamation real quick. And then there's the money. Always the money. Diddy's empire has been drained by lawsuits, brand damage, and partnerships turning toxic. But the Combs family still has access to certain assets, relationships, and secrets that can be monetized. Industry whispers say investors aren't backing the brothers out of loyalty. They're backing them because of what the brothers might expose. That's why this isn't just content.
In the moment, it just felt like, what? Like, is this fun for him? Is this a test?
It's negotiation. A doc can function like a bargaining chip. Pressure settlements, push narratives, shape public opinion, and even influence how people approach legal strategy. But here's the catch. Once it drops, the countersuits can come from everywhere. 50, networks, anyone who thinks they were painted unfairly, and anyone terrified their name ends up in the wrong frame. So what we're really watching isn't a feud. It's a collision of legacies, legal strategy, and ambition. The Combs brothers have everything to gain and everything to lose. 50, who—
So apparently Diddy's knee has been bothering him recently, so he reported it. At some point, it was decided that he needed medical care outside of the jail, so he was taken to a Brooklyn
who usually moves like the hunter, is now dealing with something he hates, being hunted back. And Diddy, even locked up, his influence hasn't vanished. It's just moved into a different lane. The doc drops in 2026. Between now and then, the battles won't only be on social media. They'll be in courtrooms, boardrooms, and backroom conversations where people speak softly while planning exits loudly. Because once control is gone, everything collapses fast. And right now, nobody looks fully in control. So here's the big question. If Justin—
The data shows a wide variety of sentences. Weighing all the relevant factors, the court determines that the sentence is 50 months of incarceration.
50.
4 years.
4 years.
5-0.
4 years, 2 months.
2 months.
Yep.
Wow.
50 months.
True that.
Justin and Christian really have the kind of evidence people claim. The kind that could dent 50's image and rewrite the public story. Why haven't we seen it yet? Are they waiting for the perfect moment? Or are they being played by forces bigger than they realize? And if they push too far, what happens next? Because if this backfires, it won't just be embarrassing. It could be life-changing in the worst way. Drop your take in the comments. I'm reading everything. If you want the next update the second it drops, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for Reporix. We cover what's loud and what's hiding in the shadows. See you in the next one.